welcome everybody to the Rewired Festival. This is the $25,000 Apex Legends tournament. I believe we also have Pioneers. We do have, I believe, Verhulst coming in for them.
KCP getting dropped immediately.
For me, KCP was a bit of a disappointment.
Elevate ends up putting a knock on Tenaski. Verhulst is the next one to fall. KCP is now just down to Dell.
That's from Yanya onto Sir Dell, and it looks like that's all she wrote here for KCP.
One big team I got to keep a close eye out for, I want to see a better game from, is KCP. Can the Kansas City Pioneers playing the Verhulst go big?
First one there, and it's the one clip coming out from Verhulst.
Kansas City Pioneers finally wakes up.
Apex Legends MVP here for Rewired Fest, and I think Vicky knows who this one is going to go to.
All right, welcome everybody to the Rewired Festival. This is the $25,000 Apex Legends tournament. So let's go ahead and talk about the format for this weekend. We do have $25,000 on the line.
Yeah, your typical ALGS format, and we know that kills are extremely important, but that's going to come with the placement. I mean, when we're looking at the lobby that we have right now, it's a fairly stacked lobby.
Yeah, and the great thing is they're going to be playing on LAN. So this is a nice mixture of North American squads. We got LG, the Mexican squad, coming in, along with, of course, so many of your North American favorites like CLG, Elevate, and such, and along with some EU representation. And I believe we also have Pioneers. Now, that's going to be a nice little fun addition because we do have, I believe, Verhulst coming in for them. So playing with Nasky and Dell, that's going to be an amazing squad to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that squad get to work and really excited to get these games going.
Loading up onto World's Edge for the first time here at the Rewired Festival. Let's get into game number one. KCP finding a fight themselves up here in Skyhook, and I believe they got this drop to themselves, and this team ended up rotating into them, and KCP had all of Skyhook to themselves. They've got purples, they've got blues, they've got the fighting advantage, and now hunting down the last player. They will be able to finish off Team Sunning. Unfortunate for them to go down here so early on. We're already down to 16 squads, Tom.
If this was, a team that I had to pick, this is the team I'd want to play on right there, because Nasky's just always bringing the vibes. It's going to be really exciting to watch how Verhulst works with them.
Yeah, CLG have spotted out a squad. It looks like a Seer Ultimate being used instantly there, and KCP turned to back away from this one as they are getting gate kept just a little bit by CLG, but no pressure. Even though the ring is closing on them, it is still ring number 2. They'll have the option to rotate out with that Valkyrie, and they don't want to go down early. It's only 12th place currently. You don't want to walk out with only one placement point after game number 1 here, but KCP kind of reposturing now, trying to retake height. That's going to be Verhulst getting challenged though from the other roof. Just have to be careful. Spots him out, Q out just to get a little bit of information. As that as that Horizon has already used her Q now, gonna allow KCP maybe to be able to have the advantage in this fight now.
Wow, Verhulst's gonna go with the non-ADS, just straight up hip firing that Horizon over towards the air. That's gonna be one player, but you still have a 3-stack inside of this building as another University of Arkansas team is gonna be taken down. And it's going to be another push coming in from CLG, so they were not expecting the full team of 3 to come out. And hello, CLG is meaning serious business. KCP getting dropped immediately. Atlanta Premier there with the third party, and this is the action that we've been looking for.
What a strange turn of events there for KCP. They thought they had one player isolated. It ended up being a rat. And they got baited out for that one. Nasky, I believe, the first one to fall, and now CLG trading with Atlanta Premier. Here we go, heading into game number 2 of Rewired Festival. We have $25,000 on the line. Elevate ends up finding a knock onto Nasky. Don't know the range on that one, if they'll be able to try and convert, as Verhulst is the next one to fall. KCP is now just down to Dell in the thick of things down here inside of the hot springs currently. And now Dell, he's got a full 3-man on the other side of this door. He's been spotted out. That's a swing out, and Dell will get finished off by Team Mystic.
But let's take a look at the standings first. This is our second page of the standings as we see Aurora works their way up to 11th place, making it to the front page here. It is none other than Atlanta Premier in first place after winning game number 1. Somehow as a duo sneaking into second place in game number 2. They find themselves back-to-back consistent finishes. But speaking of consistency, Esports Arena right behind them with 35 points, and then FUT Esports with 23, that Jordan number E8 right behind them. So it's a lot of our ALGS Pro League teams that are performing so so far here, Stella. One big team I got to keep a close eye out for, I want to see a better game from, is KCP, the Kansas City Pioneers, the European boys playing the Verhulst Go Big in game number 3. But guess what? We will find out because we got game 3 ready to go. Let's go ahead and throw it back to our casters. Jamerson, T-Squared, take it away.
Picking up a +3 for themselves.
Nice job there from LG as KCP wants some blood as well. There goes the door, and there goes Verhulst with the car and the flatline. Great combo for this controller player, an absolute beast that plays on TSM. That's V Roses. Himalaya's going down. Only one more player remains. Great job putting in some serious damage. Great use of the knockdown shield as well. But girls got a game, getting eliminated in 11th place. Putting some serious damage, though, onto KCP.
Yeah, KCP now with 2 team fight wins under their belt. They took out CLG earlier on as Complexity now still rotating around here on the northeast side of the map. They've already... Complexity will take the time now just for a quick pit stop before they continue their reign. Currently at 18 points and in 7th place, but this is just after 2 games. They still have a lot of room to try and make up for.
Verhulst still popping off in the kill feed. You can see he knocked Mercy from E8 and now LG. We saw Luminosity Gaming in the chat. Well, here they are on your screen as well. Shout out to all the LG fans and shout out to everybody that's been watching. Appreciate you. We are in game number 3. First place is $13,000 in this LAN event. The shots from Yenya onto Sir Dell, and it looks like that's all she wrote here for KCP.
Yeah, KCP knocked out in 10th place. LG ready for the third party.
Great job from Complexity. We'll take a look at the leaderboards here in a second to see what it does for them in the overall standings. But Monsoon looks back to rare Monsoon form. Such insane gameplay. Great flick of the wrist and use of the Mastiff there in the late game.
Esports Arena taking first place here with 48 points, and Atlanta Premier only behind by 7.
Meanwhile, here's Kansas City Pioneers. We talked about the KCP. We wanted them to have a big game. Great job by Verhulst. Close range with the car, his favorite SMG, and he is just frying here. Does about 250 damage in the matter of just about 10 seconds. Verhulst breaks ice and lets his teammates come in and clean up. That's what Verhulst is so darn good at.
Yeah, he is just an absolute monster in this game. And
All right, we're coming down to the final game of the evening here at Rewired Fest. Right, 4 tonight, and then we have 6 more tomorrow. We'll be swapping on over towards Stormpoint for the first 4 games of tomorrow, and then we'll be finishing off on World's Edge. Again, these games, the first day is super important because we are seeing these drop spots being established by our squads, and that's leading to a lot of shenanigans here in the early game, Tom.
ESA and what a team in first place is capable of doing. KCP now starting to push up. Verhulst, he's got the Volt, he's got the R301. Let's see what he's going to be able to do with the high ground as well.
KCP, 24 points right now. A win here, though, can propel them easily into the top 3. We'll see. They need to start it off with a lot of kills and do have that gravity lift holding them down for now, but you can see they're still trying to back them up. Height has been taken by the enemy squad, though, and so Dell will have to try and challenge that. Never mind, he just needs to hit the wingy shots. That's Monsoon from Complexity going it down, and Complexity are winners from game number 3. Might fall here extremely fast as KCP are forcing the issue. That's Complexity out in 12th place. KCP really stamping a nice team fight win for themselves here in game number 4.
Continue to try to play this a little bit slow, but we talked about the compositions, and will there be a Valkyrie-less composition that runs with Horizon and the double scans? It's Vizio, the team, to go and do that. That is one of the most hyper-aggressive teams that you can run, especially when it comes to rank. To see it run in a tournament here is really not that surprising with the pace we've had.
KCP right now is just roaming the edge as the Verhulst has been spotted out, isolated on his ones, but he's got the backup of Dell here who connects. That's going to be Elevate losing out on Mercy. KCP have the 3v2 advantage, but Verhulst is taking his time with that bat, though. So there's a small opportunity for Elevate to fight back, and they will be able to at least trade, but it's come down to this 1v1, I believe. Nasky does not have any shields as he's trying to hunt down this last player, trying to go for that armor swap as the arc stars are coming on in. He gets that purple armor swap into this fight and dishes out, is able to dodge out a lot of that arc star damage. Now taking heights, he does slide on in from that rooftop. They've got that gravity lift being utilized here. Another armor swap quite possibly coming in for Nasty as he tries to secure that thirst. Backing away from this one. Nice 72 here, but the push out somehow gets inside, and now it's LG coming in for that third party after Elevate cleans up KCP. They will not be able to celebrate for long as Elevate gets knocked out. LG looking to come in for a huge finish here in game number 4.
As a result of 4, at least to start it off, it's ESA in first by a margin, 21 points up over the second place team in Vizio. Really good job from Vizio bringing this back, and LG, Luminosity, Mexico stand up as they take third place with Atlanta Premier right behind them, who had a really quiet last 2 games. For me, KCP was a bit of a disappointment. You know, you expected them obviously playing with a substitute, but so is ESA, so is LG playing with their coach, playing, obviously they have experience with him, but playing with a substitute for them. So are Foot Esports, I think, in the top 5. So I'm looking for the Kansas City Pioneers to step up big time. I think they're going to go back to the hotel room, maybe watch some VOD, maybe talk things over. If I know Nasky, I know he's going to IGL this team to success. Obviously a heartbreaking 3v2 loss right there as Dell missed a couple wingman shots, the high risk, high reward wingman PK play. He didn't hit the shots he needed. He left Nasky in a 1v1 that just extended on for so long and gave time for LG to come in third party, whereas they could have cleaned that fight up a lot quicker if they were able to just secure those shots and secure the 3v2. So with that said, look for KCP to bounce back big.
Welcome everybody to day number 2 of Rewired Festival, taking place at the University of Arkansas at the Bud Walton Arena. This is the $25,000 Apex Legends Invitational taking place right now. Day number 2, Tom, and I am so excited for today's matches.
I'm stoked. We saw some great starts yesterday, especially from Atlanta Premier. We had ESA really starting to pick it up. Complexity won game number 3. 4 games yesterday on World's Edge. Now we move on over to Storm Point, and we're going to see what these players are really made of. Sitting in our top 4 area is Verhulst actually going to get a drop. We have a big fight happening between KCP and Foot, if we could hop on board with that fight.
Yeah, and I wasn't actually looking if that was a wingman or if that was a Mozam, and it was a wingy. Kuyev picking that one up, and so this is taking place over at a downed beast. KCP do recover 1 as Dell gets the knock onto Voltic, the push out, and they do trade. It's down to a 1v1 now. Eva 8, Nasky gets the quick armor swap onto the blue, and now he chases after him. It's for Flash. He just needs one more shot, and he is able to finish him off. KCP stays alive while they knock out Foot Esports. That's kind of weird to see for Lutz, who's been a standout addition to this Complexity squad now. KCP finally getting eliminated, but Nasky does secure top 6 for his squad, along with an additional kill point that he was able to pick up.
But Complexity right now is looking like Complexity in their rarest form, circa ALGS Season 1, when you saw them running that Bloodhound team comp, when Bloodhound was kind of popular in meta. It's looking really, really scary right now. It's going to be a massive game for them as we get the leaderboards ready to take a look at what happens for their standings. But first things first, let's look at the replay. KCP, another disappointing game.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I mean, look at these. I don't know about you, but Eva 8 is still one of those guns that I cannot get down perfectly. But that was amazing to see here in this close range fight, which KCP, I was not sure that they were going to make it out of this one, but they did, just barely by the skin of their teeth.
Nasky proving that he has the bigger guts with his ability to push right there in that 1v1. Little friendly fire, Europe versus Europe, as KCP, the European squad, takes on their European compadres in Foot. Nice shot right there, Nasky, with the 1v1. That was disgusting. Nasty's been performing, I gotta say. I know he posted a little cheeky video of him yesterday, not having the mouse space that he wants in his mouse pad, but he's certainly showing up. Another team that showed up big time was CLG, ended up getting 3rd place overall, but the young boys are able to turn up here in game number 5.
Absolutely destroy you. Hetty is going to just take you down, of course. And like you said, the 3-2-1s can come in easily. We saw CLG having an expert 3-2-1 onto Verhulst for KCP, kind of undoing their chances in game number 5. But here we go, heading into game number 6. We're joining on board with Complexity. And so Complexity are going to try and bounce all of that for right now, though. KCP find themselves in a 50-50 currently. They do have the outsides of this building controlled, but Nasky takes a big heady there. He's already cracked for his armor, but a nice flank coming up from Verhulst, looking to make up for game at number 5. The gravity lift getting punished there by Verhulst, getting that knock onto Divine, and he is ready and waiting to go now as he's about to get one more knock. That's going to be University of Arkansas's Apex team going down. KCP picking up the first +3 of the game. For themselves, they do have the crafters to play off of, as KCP now are making their rotation through the wall side. Looks like they're going to try and run the north to make their way over towards checkpoint, but before that they're going to have a rest stop here as the full 3-man is ahead of them. It's going to be Verhulst once again on that front line, backing up just by a little bit of space and time for his squad to get into position. Verhulst now backing up a little bit more as Nasky and Dell take to the skies to try and take this fight. Now we do have that exhibit down, and they're just playing on the outskirts of it currently, but they are chasing the squad down.
I like that play from Verhulst. You don't really have to entry frag when you have players like Nasky and Serdell on your team, and he's been getting knocked first, so back it off a little bit. Nasky's got the turbocharge Havoc. He's also on Seer, so he's going to constantly be able to scan where these players are, ping them, and open things up for his team. And Verhulst also needed to full heal throughout all of that. So I like that he goes, elects for the cells, slow plays it just a little bit, and allows his teammates to make the plays.
Beautiful scan into that gravity lift, and that's going to be Sung going down. Team Vizio now down to 2 members here. We do have defensive bombardment going down. Excuse me. I think that was the Bangalore rolls actually coming in as KCP back away from this one. Dell needs to heal up as well. Nasky healing that one up. Borton will fall, leaving only Blitzen alive to try and play behind this as they get knocked out. I thought I saw a Rolling Thunder, but I don't know exactly what happened there. KCP now making up for game number 5 here. Already 2 team fights under their belts.
Yeah, that's a very good team. The team that started off the day in second place. Vizio needs to get it together here. Once KCP gets it rolling, you know that they're a team that thrives off those positive vibes. Nasky going to be leading the way over here. You see a big difference just in the previous game with Verhulst's mentality again.
Oh, before the zone starts closing in, they need to start making their move, and there's a team fight actually taking place right now. With KCP caught in it, Dell is the first one to fall. E8 on the other side of that fight right now, and KCP, things are looking very dire for them. But the saving grace could be that rotate coming out from X-Rocker. If they come in for the third party and maybe create some distraction, they might be able to get Dell out of there. Unfortunately for them, he's the one on the horizon, so they're not going to be able to gravity lift him back, but he does actually crawl back to safety, and KCP are able to recover him and stay alive for this next zone.
Yeah, Verhulst sticking the javelin where the sun don't shine right there for Serdell to get him back inside of the safe haven, and that's a really nice job from KCP going for the reset, and that's what you need to do. You need to try to avoid these teams like E8, try to pick on the teams that may not be as experienced, and looks like they're going to hunt down the team also going for that skyward dive. So Havoc PK still for Nasty. He's got that thing turbocharged up, ready to go. And you can see the strategy right now for KCP. Let Nasty lead, let him make the calls, and then they can pounce on the information from Serdell and Verhulst.
And he's been a long-time IGL for his squad. As Esports Arena ends up going down, that's going to be LG picking up another +3 here. They're really picking up the mantle of complexity after knocking them out. CLG ends up losing out on 1 for now. We'll see if Nutella can go ahead and finish that off. But for KCP, they have a great position here on the rock, bullying this team away from it. They still have to deal with that threat. And you can see those E8 now backing away, trying to play for more position at this point to stay alive. And those LG and KCP picking up the tatters of Team Aurora, now leaving us into a full 3v3v3. E8 taking some ring damage there, and Mercy will go down. Nyanya picking that one up. KCP wants to get involved as well, swinging in his Nasky to find that angle. Verhulst picks one up. Now it's the final 3v3. LG versus KCP. Nasky's taking a lot of damage, but he's got the armor swap there, and it's the one clip coming out from Verhulst to knock out LG, and Verhulst is on the front lines once again. KCP take a huge win here in game number 2 of the day.
What a great angle there from Verhulst, understanding that he is extremely vulnerable in the open, needs to make his way over towards the rock, could have went left to right, decides just, hey, you know what, I'm going to one-clip this player, go for the 2 damage players down below, mop the entire lobby. Great game from LG overall, but KCP really popping off.
But it's a much-needed victory for KCP, a team that we have been building up for the last 2 days.
That's the game that they needed, right? They've been waiting to get their big moment, and you've talked about it before when Complexity had a majority of their points yesterday from one game. KCP does it here. Just minor adjustments from Verhulst that we touched base on throughout the game. A lot of times he was entry fragging, which he's been expected to do on TSM next to Hal. But you got Nasky coming in, gathering information, making calls, and then Verhulst can do what he does best. That's shoot, get up close. One-clip players, and he put that to work the entire game. His shots were unbelievable. He was almost pushing 10 kills that game just by himself.
Thank you so much, Jamerson and T-Squared. Kansas City Pioneers finally wakes up the sleeping giants throughout the entirety of this tournament. Game number 5, they show up big, and that's what's interesting about this format, Stella. There's still 4 games left, so if they can keep consistency over these next 4 games, if they can really turn that snowball into an avalanche, they can find a way into the top 3 and into the significant part of the prize pool here, but that's a big if.
To CLG third-partying them,
God.
so... yeah, the Verhulst is just nasty. Absolutely disgusting.
The clip from Verhulst. So by the way, it was a 1 clip, but he actually had only had a blue extended heavy mag and had fired 3 or 4 bullets before entering that fight.
KCP with that big victory in that last game, Tom, put themselves in 4th place. First, we're looking at 1st through 4th. That's where you're placing into the money. But amongst 4th through 9th, it's still an extremely tight race. But it looks like we have to go straight into game. We are loading up for game number 3 of Storm Point here at Rewired Festival. It's day number 2. We have 4 games left, and we have $25,000 on the line. And only the top 4 will be placing in the money today, Tom.
Down Sir Dell, speaking of getting some kills. Verhulst going to answer that one, and that's going to be KCP taking down University of Arkansas Apex. This lobby's starting to heat up.
Yeah, they're just picking up where they left off in that last game for now. Yeah, ESA, though, do find a building at the very least to play inside of. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult for any teams, really, to try and get that clean 2v3. They have been scanned out, and now they've got KCP coming up behind them, and Phony takes a lot of damage. I said it was going to be difficult, but when you open up with damage like that, and you've got the scans, and you've got the Singularity coming in on that stairwell, there's the nades as well. Dell does have to be careful because he leaves himself exposed to the other squads inside of Cenote, but they get that first knock onto Fury, leaving only 1 remaining for ESA, and it's just a matter of time. Again, you can see how much of a nuisance all the other teams around them are being right now, making sure that KCP can't get these kill points. And there might be an opportunity with Foot Esports coming in for the third party to allow ESA to try and get that res.
KCP finding Twitch Big. That's going to be University of Arkansas Obsidian going down, and now Depressley gets answered right back. That's going to be Verhulst. KCP continues to heat up.
This is our now second place squad. Remember, with LG going down, they were not able to get any points at all whatsoever. KCP now lead them by 1 point. We still have Complexity alive throughout all of this, keeping pace with them. So this might actually come down to a 3-horse race. KCP, though, find another knock. That's going to be Voltic going down, and now KCP playing off that north side. Will they be able to get the flush? Do have that angle. Unfortunately, though, Verhulst is not able to try and secure that thirst at the very least, and that would have been an important thirst to get because they do want to clear out this north side.
They do get that one. Nasky's able to finish it off. Also a little bit of help from the zone. Never hurt anybody, and KCP finds themselves in a great position.
That's going to be KCP actually making their way on in. Looks like a skyward dive coming out from them, landing on top of AP. They have to deal with so many teams. They got CLG, Aurora, all on this one building for now. And it looks like a small corner of it is available for AP. They use the skyward dive of their own to try and get away from that fray. But it's KCP just holding the line, getting the knock onto Dimmy. But Nasky's taking a lot of damage here on the rooftop. He needs to be careful. CLG, will they be able to recover Dimmy?
Great shots right there with the flat line. Now CLG is going to be on the ropes. It looks like they only have 1 more player remaining, and now the push is coming in over towards the bottom floor. They don't want to stay on the roof. It looks like it's a little bit overexposed, and now Sir Dell putting in work with that EVA 8 in flat line. FU2 Esports going out, the black hole going down. Complexity taking full advantage of that.
Let's take a look at the replays here. Kansas City Pioneers, they make it to 6th or 7th place, I believe, taking out CLG on that Valcult, like you said. But in the end, they ended up getting aped and pushed to the hands of Complexity, who was just absolutely farming this late game stall.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and join on board for game number 3 of Storm Points. All to pick up this landing is KCP. We saw them in the 50-50 early on as well. As it looks like they get a knock through the window. That's Verhulst picking that one up with the hemlock on that last little bit of damage there. As they're going to try and hit that res, but there's a window there. There's going to be the re-knock as well. That's 2 going down. As it looks like KCP will be able to find another +3.
Strong team today, but again, where do you find the action? KCP finally finds some, and it looks like all of the resources being used.
Over here as they continue this push. Now KCP get the huge damage onto Vizio, and they might knock them out early once again. Sung does trade back for Nasky, but there's the thirst for that quick armor swap. They'll be able to chase after this final remaining member. Verhulst is really just firing on all cylinders today as he continues to push the issue, gets that finish onto Team Vizio, who ends up going down now in 11th place. It's KCP with at least 8 kill points to their name. They have a huge possibility of finishing off strong now. Kamamba still sliding in. He is taking so much damage. Does almost crack 1, but he is falling low. Nano is spearheading the way for him and clearing the path at the very least. And they survive for now, but they're still getting chased down. That's going to be Verhulst picking up that knock onto Mamba, and CLG will fall.
Or you have the enemy teams make a mistake and then you capitalize on that. That's a great point, Jamerson. These 2 teams are staggered directly on top of each other. Can't get too greedy for the kills over here. You can see The res potentially coming in for AP, but it's not quite yet because KCP is filtering on over towards the door, and ESA needs to play big right here. The scout in hand, the R301 as the backup as well. AP gets dropped in third place, and now it's all up to ESA. Verhulst says no. The kill leader coming through. Fury gets knocked next, and that's the last thing you want to do is go toe-to-toe with Verhulst.
Armor swap 1v1 enemy. Verhulst is able to secure the win for KCP here in the end. What an amazing finish. Oh my goodness, Verhulst does it again.
The kill leader for a reason popped off. I think he had 11 kills in that game. Nasky said he was nuts. We all knew he was crazy. TSM Verhulst playing for KCP. What a win right there. We had 3 of our top 4 teams in that final circle, and you really couldn't ask for a better ending. That has to sink for ESA just a little bit.
Absolutely fantastic play, though, just being able to play off that. ESA had the openings, but Verhulst has been on fire these last few games, and honestly, being able to survive that, get that armor swap, it was just unfortunate how they approached that last fight for ESA, kind of splitting up, setting up for that crossfire, and Evan was able to take advantage of that. What a fantastic finish for KCP. Let's go ahead and send it on over to Fallout and Sella to break down our final game of Stormpoint.
Thank you, T-Squared. So much to break down. When I say so much, I mean one thing and one thing only. TSM Verhulst, the 1v2 clutch for the bread. And the way that he did it, Stella, too, I can't wait to run that back via replay. I mean, he had an original 1v1. I think it was against Fury, and he dominates that one. They, of course, got some close shots. He was down about 30 or 40 HP, hits the shield swap, and immediately has the wherewithal to play with confidence to push Enemigo and control the 1v1 cadence to win that one as well. 1v2, KCP on top, secures an extra 5 points right there with just that play from Verhulst. KCP was able to drop at the perfect time, collapse on the fight, and despite that, they actually got down into a really, really tough spot. Verhulst is last alive, and Verhulst goes big to clutch the 1v2. What a game, what a finish, what a way to wrap up Stormpoint here. You'll see some of the replays. Nasky with the cheeky little wall bounce right there. Didn't really do much for him, but still looked good.
It looked cool, which is, you get stylistic points. I mean, they don't count for the tournament,
Exactly.
but, you know. Yeah, KCP did a pretty good job here surviving on their own. But also, I want to point out, though, that Verhulst was kill leader starting at 5 squads left. With 5 squads, and that had 8 kills and 5 assists. And that's not even counting all of the kills and assists that he got after 5 squads were eliminated. So he has been absolutely dominating in the lobby today. He's been doing a fantastic job of leading his team in a charge. So, God, no one wants to go up against Verhulst right now.
Yeah, that is so true. He's been on fire today. Verhulst playing out of his mind. And in the end, the kill leader of that game with 11. Here's the play. Fury pushes up. Verhulst is weak. Fury has full health. And Verhulst still wins this 1v1. How? Obviously an SMG over a G7 scout in a close range fight, but still with a 75 HP disadvantage, immediately gets the shield swap and takes out Enemigo. Enemigo just basically gets caught with his pants down, because I don't think Enemigo expected Verhulst to push with such aggression right there. I mean, he knew Verhulst was weak. He got the call from his teammate that, hey, he's damaged significantly. He's going to be healing back up. And Verhulst says, yeah, no, hold this. Gets the shield swap, pushes wide right, and takes out Enemigo, catches him slipping. I mean, that was just absolutely insane still. A great play from Verhulst as we get ready to take a look at the leaderboards here.
Here we have the leaderboards to see how Verhulst has been just dragging his team up the scoreboard today.
Yeah, second page. Meanwhile, excited to flip over to the first page, and as a result of the last performance from the Kansas City Pioneers and Verhulst, they will take first place by a margin. KCP, after being called out by myself yesterday, go huge in day 2, but they have 2 more games on World's Edge where they struggled yesterday. They got to continue to perform. Complexity right behind them. We've seen great plays from Complexity. Unfortunately for them, they got caught in a bad spot last game and ended up getting 5th place. Esports Arena and Atlanta Premier had a great start yesterday and ended very, very strong here on Stormpoint. And then Luminosity Gaming rounds out the top 5.
Ready to break it down for our final 2 games of the day. Tom, we're swapping off onto World's Edge once again. What can we expect?
Maybe more KCP, maybe more Verhulst, because the dude is really heating up, and it's just been impressive to go and watch. And especially when you go and you look at that final moment there, how he's able to navigate the armor swaps directly into that 2v1. You really can't ask for any type of better Apex to be played. The dude is going absolutely nutty. But in terms of adjustments, that's what I'm really looking forward to, because we've seen adjustments game after game. And it started with Verhulst backing off a little bit, allowing his teammates to open things up more for him. He was the first player to go down numerous times in game number 5, game number 1 today officially in Storm Point. And then he just allowed Nasky and Serdell to do what they do, open up the map for him. He comes in, plays the finisher, and he did that extremely well. So I'm curious to see what happens for these other squads that popped off on World's Edge yesterday. Atlanta Premier, how are they going to do over towards the staging side? Are they going to get bullied by CLG? They're also landing right next to ESA, who goes over towards Landslide. Those are the big storylines for me.
Yeah, for right now, let's go ahead and head into World's Edge for the first time today. It's 2 matches left to go.
No doubt about it. Now we take a look at what's going on with CLG. Looks like they are going for a contest early on. KCP, they got all of Lava Siphon to themselves, but once they all 3 land middle, it makes me see no, they don't have it to themselves. That's typically a strategy that you would do if you are getting contested, and it is Vizio on the opposite side. Jamerson, 2 teams that we talked about heavily before this game started. That's not what you're looking for Blitz. It looks like his entire team bailed on him.
Oh man, really unfortunate, but for KCP, they love to see it. Now we're down to our final 4 squads. We know that there's a duo around, and that's Team Vizio. We're able to survive until the top 4. We've got KCP as well, the only team inside of the zone currently, or well, the next zone, and ESA just on the outskirts there, playing off of Epicenter, who can just walk in with this one. But this is such an awkward position. 4 squads still in such a massive zone.
KCP has so much of the zone to work with, Jamerson. They're going to have to really spread out here and have a huge presence.
The thing is, the game has been so slow for them that they haven't even used up all their utility. You can see you got a frag grenade along with that arc star for Verhulst, so they do have that potent singularity nade combo. Pistillo goes down. Nasky picks up an extra kill for his squad. LG scrambling up against ESA right now. LG does find one, and it's Sung from Team Vizio that snipes away one more. So both of these squads, ESA, not going to be long for this world as Verhulst finds one more onto Fury, on the verge of bringing us down to our final 2 teams, KCP versus Team Vizio. The way this all started, that's how it's going to end, and it's going to be KCP looking for another victory. They should be able to make short work of this right now. Nasky spots him below him, has the PK out for the 93. He does fall for the massive, but it's KCP taking another win on the day.
More than enough damage there from Nasky with the PK to be able to buy his teammates time to filter around. And again, the fact that they took out Blitz extremely early in this game just comes back to pay dividends. They continue to put in work today. A team on the outside of the top 5, now looking poised to take first place overall and win $13,000.
Yeah, long-term investment. That's definitely an ROI, getting the plus 12 at the end there. They did a great job in the mid-game of being able to snipe some kills away from range. They picked up, it wasn't the highest fragging game for them, but it's a win nonetheless, and they were already in the lead. So another top victory for KCP. They were already in first place by a decent margin, we noted at the beginning of the day, Tom. And now, honestly, as long as they don't brick, I don't think they have to worry. And even if they do, maybe they just secure first place anyhow.
In the end, well, KCP dominates. Let's take a look at the leaderboards and see how dominant they truly have been and where they currently stand when we get to the second page here in just a moment. But that's right. And on the front side, we mentioned 30 to 50 point lead, about 30 points. KCP up over Complexity.
Thank you so much, Fallout and Stella. And now, Tom, it comes down to this one final game. You have KCP currently leading about 25 or 26 points, but we have to remember Complexity have had 2 games so far across the last 9 where they're able to put about 28, maybe 29 points on the board. So it's not out of the question, but it just comes down to KCP maybe surviving until top 15, top 10, and that's going to be a nice $13,000 payday for them.
Yeah, realistically, what we need to look at is the 50-50 that's taking place over towards Lava Siphon. Is Vizio going to go and try to play spoiler, or is KCP maybe going to back off a little bit and say, hey, this is the only way that we could potentially lose? The good thing for KCP is that Lava Siphon's such a big POI, and they've already won the 50-50 in the previous game, that there's really not much to worry about if you play it disciplined. And that's why you practice, that's why you talk about these scenarios beforehand. I think that's what their #1 focus is, because without that, you're not going to be able to play the game after that. So it's all about taking it a little bit slow here. Let the rest of the lobby try to catch up to you and take advantage of that giant lead that you've already built up for yourself. But if you haven't seen a final game in these type of moments, get ready for the fastest paced game that you've ever seen. The final one of the night is always an absolute bloodbath. I cannot wait to see what these players have in store for us. And here is KCP with their POI being taken.
It looks like they're actually in the all clear. You can see Verhulst scanning around, and Team Vizio want none of that smoke, especially with the armors that they have already picked up. A purple for Nasky, a blue in the hands of Verhulst. They haven't even checked the gondolas quite yet. We know how well kitted you can get coming out from Lava Siphon here, and this is just the beginning for KCP. All they need is a few more points, and that's $13,000 for them.
Now we're down to these final moments here. 6 squads still remaining. Verhulst with the R301. He's definitely been the MVP of the day. Kill leader in multiple games. Tons of pop-off moments. A 2v1 to win the game on Storm Point. Now the aggression's starting to come in from KCP.
Dell has taken some damage, but they do buy space. That's going to be Complexity on the other side of this fight, trying to hold the line, and if KCP can knock them down, that might actually leave things open for the rest of the lobby to try and secure that second place position. But for the time being, it's going to be LG finding the knocks onto ESA. They knock him out. We're down to our final 5 squads. We've got LG, KCP, Complexity as well, and now Foot getting full sent on by KCP. There it is. Verhulst doing it once more, going for the double peak. That's 2 knocks, only 1 more remaining. Taylor will get finished off, bringing us down to our final 4.
Nasky looking for that armor swap. You can see Nagiri still staying alive. Big wins from LG. They take down ESA. They take down Complexity, and they're trying to push their way inside of that top 4. Now it's going to be LG going up against KCP. You can see Mystic trying to stay alive on over towards the side. 5 kills, 6 assists for... 5 kills, 6 assists, for Jaguars. This is the final moment in the final game that we've been looking for.
And they've got the ping down on that last red. That's going to be Mystic out in 3rd place. The kill leader now is going to be Jaguars in the final 3v3. Dell taking to the skies with that gravity lift, trying to focus one down, but he gets focused himself, cracked as Nasky tries to chase after Pistillo, and he does get the knock onto him, bringing it down to a 3v2, but the health bars just aren't there for KCP. Somehow surviving, backing away. There's the clip out from Jaguars, and now it's come down to the 1v1 once again. Verhulst doesn't know it's LG that secures the bag here in the final game. LG taking the win in game number 10.
He is human. You thought maybe Verhulst, as the last player alive for KCP, was going to be able to clutch it, but it was Jaguars with the 1 clip in the middle of the open, shooting the missile swarm, swapping targets, and LG with a huge win. I know they have a lot of support in the chat room, so they're going to enjoy that one.
Yeah, what a crazy final game. So much on the line. We had $25,000 there for our top 4, but it is going to be KCP without a doubt taking the big dub, $13,000 for them.
But LG looking pretty good. KCP takes home 1st, Complexity 3rd, and ESA will walk home with the last piece of that prize pool on top 4. Congratulations to ESA as well.
All right, folks, we are happy to present Nasky, Dell, and Verhulst here with their trophies as our Rewired Fest Apex Legends 25K champions. Everybody give them a round of applause. They crushed it this weekend. They are our champions today.
KCP. Alright, I just gotta ask real quick, before we give one of our final rewards. Nasky, how are you feeling, man? You guys had a bit of a rough day in that first game, but I feel like you're like, man, GG, go next, alright? We'll just get better the next day.
So, I mean, we always got the vibes up. Even yesterday when we were doing pretty bad. You know, it was weird. Going into yesterday, we were, you know, we had the pro strats ready, you know, all the good stuff. After game 2, we realized, hey, man, this ain't working. So we dumbed it all down, and then, I don't know, that worked. We just pushed.
So you're saying that you ended up going in a very simple way, a simple approach for this next day. Well, you guys performed out of your mind. What was it, like 100 plus points in like 5 games? Like, you guys won 3 games, got 2nd in the last game. That was insane. I mean, if this is a little bit of a sliver of what we're gonna expect from the Pro League, I'm super excited.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see even more crazy stuff.
So, Verhulst, I have to ask you, coming into this team, playing with Nasky and Dell, you're coming in as the sub. Of course, you know, this team just with Max Strafe alone is incredibly dynamic and powerful. How was it for you trying to slot in and feel comfortable playing with the team this weekend?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it was that hard. I mean, these guys have had proven success with a sub with Rambo at LAN, and I knew these guys were gonna be good with the sub. Nasky's an insane IGL, and Dell's an insane fragger. You know, like we pulled together, and yeah, we played really well together.
And Dell, I'm wondering from you, what was your kind of feeling like after yesterday? I know you guys weren't satisfied with the points you put up yesterday, but the adjustments look good today. How confident were you coming into just game 1 today?
So confident. We had the energy. Like yesterday we had the energy, we just got unlucky someplace, in my opinion. Like, that's literally it.
Well, it seems like luck was on your guys' side today, and you're taking home a whopping $13,000 here. Congratulations, those awesome trophies. But we also have one more trophy to give out, Vicky, for our Apex Legends MVP here for Rewired Fest. And I think Vicky knows who this one is going to go to.
Bragging out today, but you guys have such amazing synergy together as a squad, and having to do that on the fly. I mean, you guys individually are very talented players, and I can't wait to see more from you guys as we go on, because we have the Pro League approaching us real soon.
And I will say, it was a tough choice. Honestly, I was going back and forth, especially because I thought Nasty did a wonderful job today, positioning you guys in so many of these games, putting you in winning positions. I mean, did you just hand over the IGL reins to Verhulst today too? I mean, he was fragging out, don't get me wrong.
So the thing is, like all the rotations that I had planned and stuff like that wasn't really working for some reason. Everyone was dying like really fast, and it was kind of like, we found out that it's not actually the rotations we need to do, we actually just need to catch up and getting kills. So we pulled out the rank strats, and Evan was doing a lot of the macro IGLing. Yeah.
Hey, it certainly worked out. Before we head out here, any kind of final words you guys want to have, folks at home, anything?
Go KTP!
Del, how about yourself?
Go KCP as well, I guess.
Do we have a go KCP from Verhulst?
Sure, I'll do it. Go. I talked it. Go TSM, baby, TSM!
We'll take it for today. Gentlemen, congratulations. It was an incredible performance this week and so much fun to watch. And best of luck to you all in Pro League coming up very soon.